Welcome back to the coins world, where today we explore a coin that might just change the way you see the pennies lying around in your drawers or tucked away in old jars. Imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin that looks ordinary, yet could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its type and condition. If you happen to have a 1942 Liberty wheat penny, it might just turn the tables for you. So stick around until the end of this video as we uncover not only its fascinating history, but also how collectors on platforms like eBay and in major auctions are valuing it today. And don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video, I'll reveal how you can find out the real price of your coin and the procedure to sell it, but only if you comment the price in the box below. The story of the 1942 wheat penny begins in a time of global upheaval. The United States was entering World War II, and every aspect of American life was influenced by the demands of the war effort. Money and coinage were no exception. The 1942 penny belongs to the famous Lincoln wheat cent series, first minted in 1909, to honor Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. By 1942, the wheat penny had already become one of the most recognized coins in American pockets. The coin was struck in huge numbers, but what makes the 1942 issue fascinating is the period it represents. These were some of the last pennies made from the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc before the government shifted to steel cents in 1943 to conserve copper for the war. That means the 1942 penny captures the final chapter of an era before coinage materials drastically changed. On the obverse, we see the timeless profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His portrait symbolizes unity and leadership, something the country needed deeply in wartime. On the reverse, the simple wheat stalks frame the denomination, reminding Americans of agriculture growth and stability. This design, which gives the coin its name, is among the most beloved in American numismatic history. What adds to the charm of the 1942 wheat penny is that it comes in several varieties depending on where it was minted. Philadelphia struck the coin without a mint mark, Denver coins carry a D mark, and San Francisco issues have the S mark. Each minting location has different survival rates and levels of rarity, with some varieties fetching higher values at auctions. Collectors today treasure these coins because they are not just small pieces of change but tangible links to one of the most important moments in modern history. During 1942, the United States was fully mobilizing for war. Materials like copper were vital for shell casings, wiring, and equipment. Every penny counted, literally and figuratively, making these coins a symbol of resilience. Now let's talk about value, because that's where things get really interesting. On eBay, 1942 wheat pennies in circulated condition might sell for just a few cents above face value. But when you start moving into uncirculated, mint state, or proof-like examples, the price climbs rapidly. High-grade coins with sharp details and bright luster can sell for anywhere between $20 and a few $100 depending on the mint and condition. What really excites collectors are error coins and rare variations, double dies, off-center strikes, and unusually well-preserved specimens can command surprising premiums. Auction houses have recorded sales of certain rare 1942 wheat pennies going for several $1,000s when certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. The demand for wheat pennies has never really diminished. They are a staple in American coin collections, and the 1942 issue stands out because of its connection to wartime America and its position as the last year of the traditional copper alloy before the wartime steel cents. For anyone holding on to old jars of pennies inherited from family, there is a real chance that a 1942 wheat penny could be among them. And if that coin happens to be in exceptional condition, you may be surprised at how much collectors are willing to pay. Remember though that grading is everything in the world of numismatics. A coin in well-worn condition might only sell for a few cents, while the same coin in mint state condition can leap into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That is why collectors often turn to certification services to maximize the value of their coins. So if you have a 1942 Liberty wheat penny, you are holding a piece of history that tells the story of America's resilience during war, the artistry of Victor Brenner's timeless design, and the transition of coinage materials in a time of global crisis. More importantly, you might be holding a small fortune without even realizing it. As I said at the start, this little coin might just turn the tables for you. Stick around to the end, because here is how it works. If you really want to know the exact price of your coin and how you can sell it, drop a comment with the word price in the comment box below, and I will personally guide you with its value according to today's market and the proper selling procedure. This way, you will know exactly what to do to unlock the potential hidden in your 1942 Liberty Wheat Penny. The 1937 Liberty Wheat Penny, a small copper coin that carries with it incredible stories of America's past, the artistry of coinage, and the excitement of coin collecting. By the end of this video, you'll see why this coin is so special, and how some rare varieties can reach impressive values among collectors. The 1937 Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking away from symbolic figures like Lady Liberty, designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin's obverse shows a striking portrait of Abraham Lincoln. On the reverse, two stalks of wheat frame the words 1 cent, which is why collectors fondly call it the wheat penny. The year 1937 was a time of recovery for the United States as the nation slowly climbed out of the Great Depression. Coins from this period were essential in everyday life, often circulating heavily through small purchases, groceries, and wages. The penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it its rich brown or reddish appearance. This alloy would remain standard for wheat pennies until World War II, when the 1943 steel penny briefly replaced copper for the war effort. The San Francisco Mint, as each mint left its unique footprint on the coin, making certain mint marks more desirable. The Philadelphia Mint struck the largest number of 1937 cents, making them the most common. Denver and San Francisco issues were produced in lower quantities, giving them extra appeal to collectors. The total mintage for all 1937 pennies exceeded 309 million pieces. While this makes the coin common in circulated condition, high-grade specimens, especially with mint red luster, can command very high values. Collectors are especially drawn to the San Francisco 1937's penny. As it had the lowest mintage among the three, although still not a rare coin, finding it in pristine condition can be challenging. Like other wheat pennies, the 1937 coin reflects the artistry of early 20th century coin design. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln is lifelike yet symbolic, capturing the president's thoughtful gaze. Interestingly, many 1937 wheat pennies are found with a range of natural colorations, from deep brown to vibrant red. The redder the coin, the higher the value, as it indicates less oxidation over time. One of the most thrilling aspects of the 1937 wheat penny is the possibility of discovering mint errors. Collectors always hunt for unusual varieties, as errors can multiply a coin's value. Some coins were struck with off-center errors, where the design is shifted noticeably away from the center. These are popular finds and highly collectible. The 1937 wheat penny reflects a fascinating era in American history. It was struck during the latter years of the Great Depression, a time when every cent carried weight for families struggling to survive. For many, these pennies were more than coins, they were lifelines, used to purchase bread, milk, or basic necessities. Minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1937 penny offers collectors a wide range of mint-marked varieties. Each mint tells a slightly different story of production, quality, and demand during that year, making the coin's legacy even richer. The obverse of the coin, featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile, symbolized national unity during tough economic times. By 1937, Lincoln's image had already become a powerful emblem of perseverance, justice, and the hope for recovery. The reverse design, known as the wheat ears, represented American agriculture and prosperity. The simple wheat stalks were not just decorative, they were symbolic of the nation's backbone, the farmers and workers who fueled the economy. One of the most exciting aspects for collectors is the existence of mint errors from 1937. Some coins were struck with double dies or off-center impressions, making them extremely valuable today. Such mistakes were rare but are now highly sought-after treasures. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest number of 1937 pennies, which makes them the most common. However, well-preserved Philadelphia coins in high grades can still fetch impressive prices in auctions. Denver's 1937 D pennies often appear sharper in strike compared to Philadelphia issues. Collectors often prize the D mint versions for their strong details and durability, especially when found in uncirculated condition. San Francisco's 1937 S penny, though produced in smaller numbers than Philadelphia, is not considered rare. Still, pristine specimens are beloved by collectors and hold significant historical and sentimental value. Over the 1926 wheat penny is exceptionally hard to find in high grades, making it one of the key semi-keys of the entire Lincoln series. Not all 1926 pennies are worth more than a cent, but a perfectly preserved, high-grade example from the San Francisco Mint, especially with original red luster, is so rare that it can fetch hundreds of thousands to over $1 million at auction. The 1926 penny was minted in fewer numbers, and most entered circulation immediately. Harsh use and poor storage meant that almost none were saved in pristine condition. Fewer than 10 examples exist in MS65 red gem mint state. Only a handful are known in MS66 red, the highest grade ever assigned. Collectors pay astronomical prices for these coins, often battling in elite auctions for a chance to own one. Lincoln cents are copper, and copper oxidizes over time. Most common, oxidized copper color. Some original mint color remains. A 1926 S penny in full red is incredibly rare. One MS66 red 1926 penny was privately sold for over $150,000, and numismatists believe the right beer would pay over $1 million for a flawless example. Collectors aiming for a complete set of Lincoln wheat cents must have the 1926. Thus, its scarcity in high grades places it among the top 10 key dates, the most difficult coins to complete in red mint state. Its historical placement between World War I and the Great Depression adds to its mystique, while the 1926 wheat penny is valuable in pristine condition. Even more excitement surrounds rares such as WWII obverse, though extremely rare for this date. Die cracks and cuds were punched mint marks RPM. Each of these can enhance the value, especially when authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Over the decades, the most pristine 1926 cents have made headlines. Private collectors have reportedly offered $750,000 or more for MS66 candidates. Experts believe if a perfect MS67 or D example were found and certified, it could break $1 million. Even more common grades like BF Very Fine or XF Extra Fine command $30 to $100, and circulated examples can range from $500 to $10,000, depending on the color and grade. With values this high, authentication is critical. Top-tier coins should be graded and encapsulated by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company, verified for mint origin, strike quality, and color, protected from damage to preserve market value. Buyers and sellers alike depend on these certifications to ensure trust and precision in pricing. Where they're still found, believe it or not. 1920, where today we take a closer look at a coin that might appear common at first glance but could actually carry a hidden story and unexpected value. Imagine discovering a simple 5-cent piece that has been in circulation for decades and realizing it could change the way you think about pocket change. If you happen to own a Liberty 5-cent coin from 1990, it might just turn the tables for you. So stick around until the end of this video, because not only will we uncover its rich history and details, but I will also reveal how collectors on eBay and major auction platforms value this coin today. And most importantly, I will show you how you can sell one if you are lucky enough to own it. The 1990 Liberty 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, is a fascinating piece of American coinage that carries forward a long legacy. The Jefferson nickel design was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it has remained a cornerstone of U.S. currency for decades. By 1990, the design had already been in use for over 50 years, making it a familiar sight to Americans everywhere. Yet it still retained the respect of collectors who recognized its historical continuity. On the obverse of the coin, you find the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His likeness, facing left, symbolizes the nation's commitment to democracy, independence, and innovation. The reverse of the coin proudly displays Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, an architectural masterpiece and symbol of his vision for a young and thriving nation. What makes the 1990 nickel especially interesting is that it belongs to a period when the U.S. Mint was producing coins in very large numbers to meet circulation demands. That means many were struck, but condition and striking quality varied. Collectors today value sharp, clean strikes, especially coins that show Jefferson's features and Monticello's details with clarity and depth. The coin was minted into primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver, marked with either no mint mark or a small D on the coin. Proof versions were also made in San Francisco, featuring mirrored fields and frosted designs intended for collectors. These proof coins, when preserved in pristine condition, are among the most desirable to numismatists.